What's up? It's Rob Cressy, and welcome to another edition of Best Year Ever, a podcast designed to inspire growth and impact so you can create your best year ever. And today, what I want to jam about is how you can make May the best month ever. And the summer is on the horizon, and this weekend in Chicago felt like summertime shy. The city was back. It was gorgeous outside. There were people everywhere. So here's a tip for you. What I recommend as we look forward towards the summer is that you spend 10 minutes at the beginning of your week making reservations at restaurants or patios or sporting events or concerts or festivals, whatever it is that you want to do. Do that at the beginning of your week, because fast forward to Friday when everyone's finally looking towards the weekend and everything's going to be booked up. And I know this because I was kicking it with some friends this weekend, and I overheard on Saturday night, oh man, everything's booked up. So here's how I do it. Just jump on Open Table and scroll through and make a bunch of reservations. What my wife and I like to do is book at least 4 if not 6 people. That way we can invite some others with us. And guess what? You can always just cancel that reservation as the time gets closer if you don't want to use it. But the key is you've got the option to use it. So we'll often have multiple reservations at different places. Even if we don't know what we want to do, it gives us the option to choose when inevitably, oh, the weather's better now and everyone wants to be on a patio. And you're like, what's up, guys? I got a reservation for 4 or 6. Let's go and do this. So nice and simple thing, and you can rinse and repeat this the entire summer. I promise you, this is something that's an absolute game changer. Just take 10 minutes today, go ahead and book some reservations. You can do it for the entire month if you want. Just plan ahead there. Along these lines, to make May the best month ever, try and do something new. We've all been cooped up for the last year because of the pandemic, but now we're on the good side of things. And when I saw so many people outside having fun, smiling, enjoying the weather, I was like, boom, baby, we are back. So since we've been doing the same thing over and over and over again, we got to try and add some newness to our life. So I challenge you to be in nature more, experience something you haven't before. One thing that I like to do every single day is I have a prompt that says, what is something new you're going to do today? Well, you can take this same mindset for per day or per week and say, all right, what's something new I'm going to do this weekend? Add some newness in your life. And for this, all it takes is a little bit of intention. One of my favorite quotes: live by design, not by default. So many of us have been living by default over the last year, but if you want to make this the best month ever, live by design. Design some new things, plan out a week or 2 or 3 in advance, then you'll be able to anticipate all the goodness that is going to come. The big thing that I am doing to make May the best month ever is I am taking part in the 100 miles in May challenge. That's part of the Big Ass Calendar Club that I am part of. And here's what it is: run or walk 100 miles in May. This is something that I have never done before in my life. And if you break it down, that's just 3.33 miles of running or walking a day. So here's my mindset for how I am going to accomplish this. Number 1, start off strong, knowing that you got to get at least 3.3 a day if you wanted to keep that pace. In those first 2 days, boom, I got 15 miles in, including yesterday, a 7.7 mile run, which is the longest that I've done in recent memory. And then number 2, I ended up getting 12 miles total yesterday because I want to be working from a position of strength, because inevitably something's going to come up where I might not be able to get my 3.3 miles during a day. So I want to start banking as much as I can to put myself in the best position to succeed, because this challenge to me is about 3 things: consistency, discipline, and intention. So one of the challenging things about showing up every single day is showing up every single day because you never know what's going to happen. So what I'm doing is I'm prioritizing getting my mileage in early. We're talking in the morning. So even on day one, we were going to visit my sister and mom and grandfather on Saturday, and we were leaving at 9 a.m. This is day one of the challenge, and I woke up early to make sure that I could get in a 3.3 mile run beforehand. And did this have me accelerating the rate in which I had to do things to get ready to leave? 100%. But if something is important enough, you will find time to make it happen. When is there always time to make it happen? In the morning. So I'm prioritizing this in the morning. Another thing I think about is the phrase, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Many people might see 100 miles in May. Holy smokes, that's a ton. Well, it is a lot, but 3.3 miles a day, that's not a ton. So you can break this down into easy chunks. And one thing that I'm doing is I've got an 11-month-old puppy named Rally. She's a mini golden doodle. She's awesome. And we go on walks together. So what I do is I'm using my Apple Watch to track all of this. I'll record my walks with her. So I can get in anywhere from a 10-minute walk, which I might be able to get 0.3 of a mile, all the way up to a mile plus when I'm walking her. So let's say I'm doing this 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. Boom, that's a simple way for me to get in a mile plus of walking. And my mindset for this is I want to do this with integrity. So I'm certainly layering in as much running as I can because I want to experience this and do this so that when I look back at May, I'll be proud of myself for making this the best month ever. Next thing about this, while I'm on my runs, I'm making sure that they serve dual purposes. So one thing I'm doing, I'm listening to podcasts, whether it's sports or mindset or leadership or creativity, whatever it is, I'm feeding my mind with positive inputs. And I even did for the first time my first meditation while running yesterday. And this is where you can start thinking about stacking habits. Meditation is something that I do. I use the Peloton app. Boom, 5 minutes. I've never done it while running, but I noticed that there was a fitness meditation. And while normally I'm closing my eyes, the way that I saw this was being present and more aligned with my breath. So I actually took the 5 minutes of the Peloton meditation and I walked during that time. And it was great for me because it centered me in everything that I was doing. And I say this because there's always an opportunity for us to do more things while we are doing certain things. And running and walking is certainly a great example of this. Another thing that I did, which is going to be a very big theme for me, which you're going to be able to follow, you can follow me on Instagram at Rob Cressy or Twitter at Rob Cressy. I'm going to be documenting my experience in both of these, but I'm seeing my runs as an adventure. So yesterday I decided to take a route I had never done before. I usually like to run to the Chicago Riverwalk, then run to the lake. Yesterday, boom, I ran straight through the center of the city. I live in the West Loop, so I can literally go out my front door and run straight down past the Sears Tower into the city, straight to the lake. It's, 3 miles and change there. And what I enjoyed so much about this is I got to experience new surroundings and things that Chicago has to offer from an architecture and a creativity and a street art standpoint. So I went down to the Bean and I went down to the lake and to Buckingham Fountain, and I was taking pictures of the street art and the tulips and State Street and Michigan Avenue. And there was just so much that I was stimulated by, including seeing the buzz of people. So all of a sudden, this run walk that I was doing became an adventure where I've really worked on with my running to be okay not always running. I read a book about the run walk method, which is something that I'm using on this, and I'm really enjoying the running a lot more because now I'm running and then boom, I'll see something cool and I'll pause my watch and then I'll go ahead and take some pictures and have some fun and boom, get that started again. And I rinse and repeat that over and over again. And when I need to walk, I go ahead and walk and I recover and I enjoy myself. And I'm more in flow while I'm running and doing this. And then I'm sharing this on my IG stories and then on my IG feed and as well on Twitter. And this is something where my head is up and I'm smiling. I'm excited about what I'm doing. So while it's a 100-mile challenge, this is something that I'm looking forward to doing and challenging myself, because that's how you make a month the best month ever. And I'm also going to be very thankful come June 1 that I've documented this entire experience with pictures, because that's what I love to do, is look back at the things that I did, because that's how I earn my confidence. So let's get back to May, and here's some prompts that I give every single month for how you can make this the best month ever. So number 1, what is one thing you are excited about in May? If you don't have something, then this is a sign that you need to create something. Be intentional. Set aside some time to really think and plan about what is one thing that I'm going to do in May that I'm really excited about. Another way for you to think about this would be, if you wanted to make May a 15 out of 10, where you come back 1 month from today and you're like, holy smokes, Rob, May was the best month ever. I am so excited. What is that thing going to be for you? Write it down. Now what I want you to do, read that every single morning, because the more aware we are of something, the more we're going to feel and the more that we're going to live that up. Another thing that you can ask yourself, what is one thing that you're going to do to impress yourself in May? For me, come June 1, I'm going to be impressed that I ran 100 miles in the month of May. So ask yourself that. How are you going to impress yourself? And lastly, here's some things that you can do that are on more of a larger level to ensure that this is the best month ever. So every single month I say, create a folder in your phone labeled 2021 Best Year Ever, and go in there and drop some of the best photos from your month in there. This can be anything that makes you smile, a cool experience, or just a fun photo that you like, so that at the end of the year, we've got a document of our entire cool stuff. And this is something that I will be impressed if one person listening or watching right now does this, because I think most people underestimate the impact of long-term thinking and what it'll feel like on December 31st when you can go back and look at your entire year in photos. And then on top of that, imagine 5 years from now when you can go back in that same photo album and go, man, what was 2021 like for me? I'm going to be like, I know that was the best year ever, but let me go and see that. So spend a few minutes. So here's how I actually did it. Last night, we got carry out from a restaurant in Chicago, and it was delayed a little bit. So while we were waiting for it, I took the 10 minutes and boom, I went and put my photos into my folder. Nice and simple. It took me less than 10 minutes. And if you're someone who has not done this yet, no worry. Today is a great day for you to start this practice. So what I want you to do, just set a timer for 15 minutes. In step 1, create your folder, 2021 Best Year Ever. Step 2, go back to January 1st and just start adding photos to that folder. And I promise you, when you do this, it'll be a fun experience. You'll enjoy it. And now, as you think about every subsequent month, this can become part of your routine of, oh, let me add some of my photos to my Best Year Ever folder. It's a very simple thing that will have a long-term impact for you. Next thing, how are you investing in yourself right now, in your growth and development? Tell me the last book you read or the book you read last month. For me, I read a book that I highly recommend called The Attributes by Rich Diviney. And it is about the 25 attributes of success. Rich is a Navy SEAL. It's an absolutely incredible book. Right now, it's the best book that I've read in 2021. So highly recommend you check it out. He also did 2 podcasts, one with Rich Roll and one with Ed Milet. And I recommend you listen to both of those and then read the book. Once again, it's called The Attributes by Rich Diviney, Diviney. And then I just started reading the book, The Alchemist. And this came on recommendation from so many people. I'm just getting started in it, so I'm really excited about it. So those are some things that I'm doing right now to invest in myself. And that's really it. That's my mindset for how I am designing May to be the best month ever and how you can do the same. And I would really love to hear from you because I share this stuff because I'm genuinely excited for my life. And I want to share any knowledge that I have that can help you on yours. I'm very intentional about the way that I architect and design my life and my lifestyle because this is a lifestyle that I live. And it doesn't mean you need to do everything that I do. I'm just giving you possibilities and opportunities to say, hey, if you want to live your best month ever in May, here's some things that you can do based on the way that I'm doing it. And if anything that I said resonated with you, I would love to hear from you because I love when people connect with me on Instagram or LinkedIn or Twitter and just say, hey, Rob, what's up? Or I liked this, or I'm doing this, or send me a picture or a photo or a picture or a video or an audio message, any of those things, because guess what? I promise you I will respond. You can hit me up at Rob Cressy on all social media platforms. And last thing, as a call to action, I want to extend an invite for you to be in conversation with me. If you're someone who really wants to work on your personal growth and development, or you want to build a brand, or you want to launch a podcast, I've done all those things and I'm doing it on a daily basis with myself and with my clients. Would love to help you on your journey and explore a little bit more about what you're looking to do and how I could help. The best way you can do is go to robcressy.com. There's a link up there to schedule time for a jam session, or email me, rob@robcressy.com. Sending tons of good vibes your way. I hope that you have yourself an amazing rest of the day.